Good afternoon, awesome people. Good afternoon. It is good to see you guys again. Um, I want to thank everybody for your condolences. I really do appreciate you guys so much. It's a challenging time. Nonetheless, we will get through it and be all right. I wanted to connect with you guys to give you a little bit of information and follow up, and also talk to you guys about some stuff going on with these DMs. First things first, I'm excited about my show launching back again in January. Very excited about that. We will be doing things a lot differently. I have a lot of ideas. I already have like maybe 8 or 9 shows already in my brain and got them written down, and just getting the narratives prepared and things like that. Got a lot of new people that will be coming on board as guest panelists. I finally figured out what my technical issue is at my house. And it wasn't my stuff, it was the carrier I was using. Go figure. And so I have to change carriers, all that good stuff. So that's going to be not challenging. That'll be simple and easy to get that executed. So thank God we got that resolved, because that was beginning to get frustrating, as far as trying to do lives, and every time we turn around having some kind of technical issue. So fortunately, we are able to resolve that. Simple, easy, cut and dry, right? So I wanted to chat it up with you guys about the DMs, okay? This inbox is very interesting, to say the least. For me, I don't really respond too often to individuals that inbox me. I kind of really watch and, watch what they're talking about. I'm talking about guys. I'm not talking about females. I'm talking about guys. What I have found over the past probably 6-7 years is that a lot of people use the book of faces, as I call it, to find people to date, hang out with, chop it up, whatever you want to call it. And I just get a little bit leery about that when it comes to the Book of Faces, because it is not a dating site. It's not designated as a dating site, hasn't been identified as a dating site, but because it doesn't cost anything, people utilize it, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking it. Some people have gotten married, had some incredible experiences with meeting individuals via social media. So I'm not knocking it. Hey, if it's free and it works for you, carry on. However, we have to be really, really careful of the wolves in sheep's clothing that utilize social media as predators. So, because I'm still involved in educational platforms and even in school, we're in some studies about educational things. And one thing that we talk about a lot of times is stuff that's happening cyber wise. And not too long ago, we were discussing a young lady who often would pretty much, check in. She would check in quite frequently as far as her locations were concerned. And the young lady ended up getting robbed by this guy. He appeared to be interested in her, wanting to build a relationship with her, and that wasn't the case at all. He had basically showed up at the girl's church and, just kind of like made it seem like he was interested in her. And he did this for a number of months, long enough to be able to gain personal access to this female. And eventually he robbed her. Thank God that was the only thing that he did. Thank God. It wasn't good, but she is alive and well. But what happened was, when we started doing the study and the information came out, the girl was saying that, according to the police department, she was revealing too much of her personal information. And secondly, she was revealing too much of her emotional state. She would talk about stuff like, oh, all men are dogs, and are there any good men left, and things like that. So the guy made it seem like he was the ideal guy. He just he preyed on her, and he did it for months. This dude did it for months. She kind of disclosed that she was a six-figure income earner, just a number of things to literally be prey to someone. So we got to be aware of the wolves in sheep's clothing when it comes to social media, because everybody on here is not on the up and up. They're not good people. They're not good contacts, things like that. So you got to be meticulous and, consider, unless you know someone directly and you have a direct relationship with individuals, you got to consider them and treat them as strangers, because they are strangers. So you got to be wise and pay attention. So if you meet someone on social media, there's a couple of things that I recommend you do. The first one, let's back up a little bit. Ladies, I just want to encourage the ladies, because it doesn't happen to men as often as it happens to women. Ladies, if you're going to check in after you leave. I'm going to say it again. If you're going to check in after you leave. Just basically, you're acknowledging that you've been in a place. You know how when you post certain pictures, it'll put you in that place. It'll tag you to that particular location. So if you're out of town on vacation or something like that, you come back and you posting your pictures and everything, and it puts you wherever you were, that so be it, whatever, because that still acknowledges that you were in that particular location. But be extremely careful about checking in while you're at a particular place, unless it's deemed necessary, like you're meeting with a group, things like that, or it's a requirement for that particular venue and stuff like that. Certain things that I do, because I do public speaking and things like that, I have to check in for certain events and stuff like that. It's like a social part of the event or something like that, and I have to check in. Nonetheless, for the most part, I don't really do a whole lot of checking in. I try to stay away from checking in as much as I possibly can. Secondly, the second thing is, please, 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 please do not disclose too much personal information about yourself, in that, like, saying stuff like, oh, there's no good men left, and why ain't no good men, kind of making yourself look vulnerable. You got to be careful, because somebody will prey on that. If you want to have those type discussions, do them in private with your homegirls and things like that. But be aware not to put that stuff on social media, okay? Because there are some predators out here, and they are looking for somebody to prey upon, okay? The third thing is in your DMs, okay? When you're communicating with somebody new and they're connecting to you, ask a lot of questions, a whole lot of questions. And if you don't know the questions to ask, Google it. Google, what questions do I ask a prospect when online dating? What questions do I ask a prospect when online dating? A lot of information pops up, and it will tell you the kind of questions that you need to be asking these people and stuff like that. And then, of course, because you're online and you're connecting with this person, Google them. Google them. Google them. See if the pictures that they have on their profile match the pictures that are in cyber world. Most humans have pictures in cyber world. Most humans. And because we have pictures in cyber world, you can kind of put a couple of things together. The fourth thing is, know that when you have this conversation, expect 72 to 86% of what the person says to be lies. If not outright lies, a variation of the truth, which still is a lie. So if you expect them to be dishonest, then you can cover a lot of ground by expecting them to be dishonest. The next thing is, do not become swift to take the conversation offline. Do not become swift to do that. The next thing after that is, if they live in another state, be extremely careful about going to visit that person if you don't have their birth date, their driver's license number, their address, you got to have a slew of information. If they're not open to giving you specifics about themselves so that you can cover yourself, I strongly recommend you don't get on the plane. I honestly, to be really quite frank with you, I honestly recommend you don't do it at all. I recommend that if that person wants to meet you in person, that they come to your city and you actually meet them in a public place where there's a lot of people and your family or your close friends know that that's exactly what you're doing, so you can cover and protect yourself. Do not go anywhere with somebody from offline that you've never met, and all that kind of stuff off of social media is not good. We've had instances where people have been murdered, they've been sexually assaulted, robbed, you name it, it has happened. So you got to be extremely leery of taking these conversations offline, especially with meeting these humans. You don't know what you're getting yourself into, so you got to safeguard and protect yourself, especially with social media. There is not a lot of screening to find out these people's backgrounds and stuff like that. So ask. Another thing that you can do is be very forthcoming. If you meet someone, and you guys find that you're attracted to each other, say, hey, listen, you guys discuss it and you just be forthcoming. Say, hey, listen, I will be quite frank with you. I am going to do a general search background check to verify if what you're telling me is on the up and up. Now, Google and .gov, you can look on .gov in any major city to determine if the person is married, if they have a child support order, stuff like that. It's simple and easy, cut and dry. And I know a lot of people say don't do it, but I recommend you do. There's no reason for us to be a fool nowadays. There's just too much information out here for us to be foolish. And it makes no sense to be a fool when you can have wise discussions and wise interactions and wise conversations. You don't have nothing to lose. The person don't know you. You don't know them. You have absolutely nothing to lose. So Joe Johnson inboxes you and says, hey, girl, how you doing? Y'all talking back and forth. You say, hey, are you married? Have you ever been married? Got any kids? And old boy says, no. So when you call his bluff and you say, hey, I'm going to go on Google and check, man, make sure you don't have no wife somewhere. I can't get caught up like that. Then when he starts double talking and back talking, then he was lying. Just the truth. So, it's a day and age where you have to protect yourself. We don't live in a time, the Joan Cleaver days, where we can trust people, leave these doors unlocked and everything like that. No, not anymore. We don't live in that day and age anymore. So we got to be super duper wise, you guys. Super duper wise. Self protect. You got to protect yourself. Self-love. Make sure you take care of yourself, and you want to arrive wherever you arrive, alive, safe and sound, and return back home alive, safe and sound. So these are just a few tips and a few pointers for you to pay attention to with the DMs, because you don't know who's lurking in your DM or why they're lurking in there. They can tell you anything. People say whatever they think you want to hear. Doesn't mean it's the truth. Doesn't mean it's the truth at all. So I definitely don't want you guys to be deceived into believing that every person that hits your DM is on the up and up. Because some of these people, like I said, they are not good humans. They have some ulterior motives. They're wolves in sheep's clothing, and they want to harm you in some kind of way, shape, or form. Okay. So I wanted to get on here just to discuss that a little bit. I haven't had any bad interactions with anybody via DM. I am a watcher. I watch people. I pay attention to how they live. I pay attention to their consistency, what they do, all that kind of stuff. And 9 times out of 10, I don't even respond at all. They say hi, I don't say nothing. And they eventually get the picture. Sometimes it takes some of them a little while. Others, they just walk away and leave it alone. But I literally have had guys to inbox me talking to themselves for months, because I'm not going to entertain that. So, anywho, just wanted to give you guys some pointers on being careful with these DMs and things like that. You don't know who you're dealing with, man. Some of these people are freaking predators on the real. So I definitely wanted to talk about that. And after hearing some of the bad things that I've heard. I wanted to just make you guys cognizant and aware, because sometimes we just let our guards down and we just think it's safe, and it's not. Got to be smart. Got to be smart. So connect with me, you guys, on all of my platforms. I just now got a Snapchat, P Coffee Brown. Don't laugh. My daughter was like, you need to hurry and get Snapchat. So I finally did that. And all of my other platforms are all under P Coffee Brown. If you want an easy way to get to my YouTube link, just go to www.pcoffeebrown.info. My websites for my business are pcoffeebrown.com and pcoffeebrown.net. That is my travel company, and my accessories for ladies is the .com. .net is my travel company, so you guys can purchase items. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Totally appreciate it. Would love to have you guys purchasing from me, and I appreciate you. I appreciate your business. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you guys participating with me when I do these lives, and also when I do the recordings. This is going to be on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. So it's www.pcoffeebrown.info. If you want to connect to me professionally, it's www.pcoffeebrown.org. You can also connect to me on Facebook, Coffee's Corner, or P Coffee Brown. I have no space for new friends. I am cleaning out my friends list. I have to do it every now and then, and so I'm steadily cleaning it out to add new partnerships and friendships from individuals that have connected to me here recently over the past couple of years. I'm excited about the coaching that I'm going to be doing, and also about the show, the advancement of the show, about the 2 books that I have coming out. Yep, 2 books. One is going to be a romance novel. It's pretty cool. My editor, Gracia Rich, thank you so much, Gracia, for editing my book. I have to put a little bit more meat and potatoes in there. Nonetheless, it is a good read. It's going to be an ebook, and it's going to also be in print. Ebook will be out first. We're almost done. And the guy that I have doing my actual cover has been sick. It's supposed to have been out like 3 or 4 days ago, but he has been really, really sick. So I'm just praying that he gets well so I can get my book cover. I need to get that done and handled. So I'm excited about that. My other book, The 7 C's of a Successful Courtship. I have 6 authors who have agreed to write with me. I'm so excited about that. And my editor, again, Gracia Rich, is going to be on board with me for that project as well. I appreciate her so much, all that she does to support me in my endeavors. So both of these books are coming super quick, real soon. And the show airs the 2nd Thursday in January. I'm ecstatic about that. Just getting back to business. I have missed you guys. I have missed the communication and the connection, and just being able to talk and just dive in and work on these relationships. Relationships are not easy. We're 2 different humans, so we want to work on these relationships so that we can be solid and healthy and strong together, because we need each other. I know I need my mate, and I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. That being said, I am signing off now. It is Coffee Brown, Coach Koffe, here in the great state of Texas. I am so excited to be sharing with you guys once again. Again, pay attention to the DM. You might meet them, but they might not be the best thing for you. So pay attention to your DM, and be careful about protecting yourself. I'll be bringing some more content for you guys here soon. Whenever it comes to me, I'm going to be sharing it with you. And then with things that I'm learning in school, I'm going to be sharing with you guys as well. But I love you guys very, very much. And I'm appreciative to you. And thank you again for your condolences, all your concern, all the emails and text messages and phone calls and all that good stuff. You guys, thank you so much for being so kind and so considerate. I will see you again in the future. And again, this is Coach Koffe in the great state of Texas. Enjoy the balance of your day. And I thank you for your time. Grace and peace. Lots of miracles and blessings. I'll see you guys again soon. Thank you.